this is pretty much the main site with the old lady and the...
Yeah, as far as the old lady is up through here, you know, back from here, through here is that and right below us. I mean, like I said, the only thing that I didn't up here that I've never attributed to the old lady was that thing just recently moving. And that I assumed was the younger kid.
I know what you mean about sound. I can kind of hear like music or something.
There shouldn't be any music. Nothing's playing. So I said you never know at this place because you hear so much carrying.
Or maybe partying the park or something.
Yeah, some of that's from out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll hear the traffic and the music from outside. Usually, if it's music from inside, you usually be out in the main room, you'll hear it carry over from next door, but there definitely shouldn't be any music over there. Even if they're not open right now. This top bar is the only other place up here where girls will cut. Like over this register here, where Jody said her hair was pulling that. You can see there's nothing to catch hair on. She said she was standing right here. And she said, I mean, she's like this tall. She said something was pulling her hair. And she said something threw, when something was thrown at her was from over that side at her. Over here, and nothing was there when she looked. It wasn't a physical object that was thrown at her. I mean, she heard something like that thrown at her, but didn't see anything.
Never saw anything laying on the floor or anything?
That's what she looked. I mean, she felt it hit her side, and she heard it drop to the ground. When she went and looked to see what it was, there was nothing there. I mean, there's the matching stairwell up here. Again.
And that just leads back up to the...
Back up to the same exact room. This is the matching stairwell.
So the ghost you think is the matron from the burlesque house is just confined right in here?
Usually everything that's been associated has been up in this area, as far as anybody talking about her. Now, the occasional feel of a feminine presence elsewhere might be attributed to what was said about the younger lady that was felt around here. Perhaps, you know, because occasionally guys have said they felt something. You know, like I said, the kid, I guess from the back end over there, and then Billy, I guess, I mean, he's been felt everywhere. I mean,
he's pretty much got free run of the place.
He's gone all over the place. From up in there to all throughout this whole main room, those strobe lights that are mounted on those posts, they're in all four corners of the dance floor. Those are the ones I said decide sometimes on their own they're just going to start going off. And they can't operate if I have to power their controllers right down there in the DJ booth. If I shut all the power off to that DJ booth, there's no way they can operate. According to any law of science, they need to have their controller plugged in to be able to fire. Otherwise, it doesn't complete the circuit. And if I shut power off up there, the circuit's dead. And they've just gone happy as can be. Sometimes.
And you think that was pretty much his doing?
Sometimes I think, because it always seems to be like, you know, I've had it happen, some of my security guys have had it happen where they'll be like, nobody put trash cans out or something at the beginning of a night. Very few people are here, and also like, who did that? You know. most of the incidents like that have all been, somebody got a little spooked. You know, and for me, it'd be a good practical joke. I could figure out a way to telepathically make strobe lights kick off and on. Now, occasionally at this bar here is where people have said, and Jody's been the one that's seen the most, but I've had some of my security guys say, or bartenders or barback have said that they've been down at this bar and have seen something through this mirror. See, I can shine the mirror and it can reflect over there.
Mm-hmm.
They'll see something like run across the stage. Be standing out there doing something. Most of the time they'll be busy, doing something. All of a sudden, at the corner of the right to the mirror, something ran across the stage. They won't see a person. They see like a light. I mean,
No really discernible form to it?
No, they didn't. I mean, it was like peripheral vision. It's just like imagine a flash, something like that. They saw something, then it wasn't there. This side over here, this is the one with the little spook story that never arrived. This is the other side of that little cubbyhole spook story I was telling you about. This is that over here on the far side here. Slide your airbag. Down there at the base down there, that hole down there leads to that little cubbyhole I showed you on the other side.
Okay.
So technically there's actually physically, I mean, you can, if I'm down there talking, you're going to hear me talking up here. This is where I said that one guy brought his two buddies in here because his friend was down there supposed to make scary noises and it'll scare somebody. Problem was is the friend that was down there got spooked by something, ran up here to tell his buddy that he wasn't doing it anymore and he was crazy. And when he walked through that door, the three guys were standing here getting spooked already because something was already making noise. The kid walked through the door and all four of them heard something down there. Scratching, making noise, breathing really heavy. Typical spooky noises. Which it was supposed to be a prank. The guy that walked through the door was supposed to be down there doing exactly that, except he was up here. Like I said, above us, I have no clue. Mike is up here. It's a big, big, big room. Empty. This is your old stage. Still got the old curtain right up there. Old original stage. It's had modifications, all the electric stuff, but there's some that's still the original. Like I said, this side has a matching trapdoor. That there goes the same type of situation, a big empty room above that goes all the way to the roof. There's your back stairwell down. The only rear entrance down here.
It was just like really cool thing that was kind of strange. We got married out at
Isn't it a storage, one of the small cubby holes? As you see, these large air vents was what I was talking about. There used to be an old boiler that used to fill up to about where the dance floor ends. There used to be a huge, this used to be the boiler room. Those were the air vents. There's a matching one on the other side. This is another storage room that has junk, nothing but junk. Just illustrative of how many old cubby holes there are.
It'd be neat to get the original floor plans of the original building, see what all this stuff used to be for.
Yeah. There's that. I guess I can match here. Everyone's favorite band room.
And just normal present feeling of a...
People, a lot of it, it's always been attributed to just whatever's next door. A lot of people have felt a really, really negative presence here. Very, very malignant, malicious presence. So other than Dave's story about someone messing with his amp when he was trying to practice, there's not been really too many stories that were directly attributed to something unusual as far as for this room, other than just basically on this side of the room feeling a very, very negative presence. And it's always been the same thing you felt next door. You know, this room you have a couple of ladies' bathrooms, and everything back here. This is one of the other passageways. It's back in here. As you can see, I mean, this is when we're getting back into original building here that hasn't been modified. And this just goes back, and like this here is old sewage line, and a sewage access here. This goes all the way back through the building, underneath it there. Now honestly, I haven't been back there, and have been curious to find out what might be lying back there in a corner somewhere. And this just goes back behind the DJ booth. Cubby hole. As far as through here, you can go back if you want to. Do you want to videotape the back end there?
Yeah. Try and get it all.
Like I said, this wall was not original. This is put in very recently, within the last 6 months. This steps here is what I was talking about. The girls have said they've been pushed on this small set of like 3 steps there. People said they've been shoved down these steps here. People have said they've been shoved down those steps there. Like I said, rumor has it that it was somewhere like in the back area here where those 2 guys got killed. That's only rumor. Yeah, that's an old dumbwaiter that goes all the way to the 3rd floor. From the basement here to the 2nd floor. And that's that cubby hole that air vent leads down into there. There's 2 other floors, a ground floor and then another floor on top of that up there. Now, I've never really heard too much about the ground floor up there, other than people saying in the back, right above where we're at now, some people getting a little spooked out, saying the same thing that we felt across the wall there. People said they felt above. It's always been all localized around like this focus area. Now, on the 3rd floor, there has been, I can't go up there, but there has been the same type of stories. And everybody's always tended to attribute it to whoever's down here. Same type of very spooky stories. But no one's ever had anything happen until they hit between the ground floor and the basement stairs. This stairwell here. These are the type of stairs I'm talking about. They go up to a landing and they go up to the first floor. And these are the type of stairs where somebody will say they were like walking down and somebody shoved them into the ground, or they'll be walking down the stairs somewhere down here. Like somebody will be walking down here and then like halfway down the stairs, and somebody will shove them into the wall. Like I said, and these.
How often do stories like that, do you hear stories like that?
Now, like I said, in the last year or so, since we leased this out over here, I don't have the type of interaction with people, and I haven't really heard anything. Like I said, enough people have influences, alcoholic or chemical, that they may not notice something. Hell, they can trip down the stairs anyways. They don't need help. But back a year and a half and previous, it was at times very common to where at least once a week, a girl, and it would, a lot of times it would be a girl by herself, a waitress cutting back through the back stairs to cut up to the club upstairs. The stairs, there's a matching set of stairs at the front of the building, and it'd be a customer at the end of the night, coming out, going out to meet one of her friends and cutting through there, having something happen. Very, very rarely, one time that girl got pushed in front of me, it's very rarely that 1, 2 people would be around. Whenever there was a large group, nobody ever said anything happened. It was 1, 2, 3 people, 4 people, something like that, small group. The area that, like I said, several girls said they were tripped. The tables weren't there. This bar was not there. It was just the pool tables. And like I said, that wall area was open. The steps came down right through there. There was very few to no tables. A lot of times like through here, people say they got pushed. Or that stairwell, they go up.
And this would be pretty much where the two brothers would be hanging out, in this part of the building.
This basement level here, especially towards the back, has always been where everybody said they felt something. Especially a lot of times when people, because like I said before, people used to come through that stairwell and come down here. A lot of times when they cross over that area, come through here, it'd be strongest towards the back of the building, is where everybody said. But all the activity always seemed to be down here. Sometimes people would feel things upstairs, but that would be, nothing would really ever happen to them. They would just feel. And this would always be where everybody felt it was strongest, especially down here. If I get a chance sometime, or perhaps another time, I can take you guys upstairs, so that you guys can feel upstairs.
Yeah, we'd like to come back on several occasions. If we don't pick up nothing now, then, you know, the more often we come back, we're more likely to get something.
I could talk to one of the managers, and if I can get one of the key holders to come down sometime, then they could open up their other side up there. Most activity throughout the building in various different places have always been when there's been less than a half a dozen people in the building proper. And even when there's been quite a few people in the building, the area that, like, say, if something was going to happen down here, this would be about as max as about people that are down here in an area. Because like I said, sometimes things would happen to like girls, and this lower level, both sides would be totally empty. There'd be people upstairs, maybe 10, 20 people. people upstairs, but there would be nobody down here except for like that one girl. A girl would come through and that would happen. A lot of times the activity upstairs won't happen at all unless there's only 1, 2, 3. Most I've ever seen personally or heard stories about is when there's more than 4 people in the building upstairs for like seeing things on the stage or things like that. It always seems to be once you get over a half a dozen or so people, you'll feel things occasionally, but definitely don't see nothing. The only time, like the strobe lights, now that happened, there was probably about 5 or 6 people in the building. But there was only one person in the whole of that main room. Everybody was out front in the office. Do you want to get the other rooms on videotape?
Sure.
Like I said, I'll be able to take you down the room that's in behind that wall there. That up those stairs is just the ladies' bathroom. And behind the other door is just a small closet. Keep papers in my toilet paper and blank, and it is literally maybe 3 foot by 3 foot square, and that's just the ladies' bathroom. That's just a men's bathroom there. The back will be all down there. The back ways through there, and that's.
But you've never really experienced anything odd down through here, though.
No. Nothing's really happened on this side over here.
I gotta get her.
Ooh.
Oh. Like I said, in here, the only thing, like I said, there was one time when it seemed like the room was really lit, like there was almost like there was a lot of light reflecting into the mirror. It almost was like the mirror was semi-luminescent. It could have been, that light, the stairwell wasn't on, these lights weren't on, there was the only light in here was from that there. And a cigarette machine in the room that was abnormally bright, and then the incident with the door and the light turning on and opening. That's the only thing that's really happened down here, and that was relatively recent.
Have you ever noticed any cycles where activity increases based on the actions of somebody? Or
Well, like I said, with my co-manager, there's definitely seemed to be an increase of pranks pulled on him. And he's the most disbelieving person in here. He almost threw the gauntlet down with there's absolutely positively no chance that anything exists. And he used to pretty much yell it to the building, daring it to do anything. Problem is it answered back, so to speak. And there's just this cubby hole down here. This goes down that little cinder block area. Like I said, this is, you saw the outside of those walls, the other side. mechanical rooms on those two sides. This is the dividing wall. On the other side of this wall would be the pool. Again, nothing's ever happened down here.
Just basic storage.
Yeah. That's basically most of the building. It's a small little building.
Easy to find a lot of places to hide.
Oh yeah.